The kitchen table revolution. When fruit became freedom. The morning light caught the oranges in her fruit bowl, bright, ordinary, waiting. She'd walked past them 100 times that week, but this time something shifted. The coffee had gone cold again, another morning balancing the noise of the house and the quiet questions she kept avoiding. Can I really build something of my own? Her kids were finally in school. The house felt strangely silent. She'd spent years saying maybe later, maybe when they're older, maybe when there's more time, maybe when she felt ready. But ready never came. Only the persistent whisper that she was capable of more. She wasn't chasing millions, just freedom. The kind that fits between nap times and school pickups. The kind that didn't require permission from anyone but herself. But where do you even start when your last job title was mom? And your office is a kitchen counter covered in permission slips and grocery lists. The idea didn't come from a business book. It came from the mess on her kitchen table, specifically the bowl of fruit her neighbor kept raving about. Where do you get these? They taste like actual sunshine. She'd laughed it off, but the question lingered. What if the answer wasn't out there somewhere? What if it was already here? Part of her still felt guilty for wanting more, as if ambition had to disappear when motherhood began, as if dreaming about independence meant she wasn't grateful for what she had. The voices were loud. You should be happy. Focus on your family. Who do you think you are? But another voice, quieter, more persistent. Why not both? She started small, almost embarrassingly small. She bought extra fruit at the farmer's market, the really good stuff, the kind that actually tasted like it grew in soil and sunshine, not a warehouse. She washed it, arranged it beautifully in small boxes, and posted a photo in the neighborhood group. Fresh fruit boxes available this week. No preservatives, no markup, just good fruit. Message me if interested. She expected silence, maybe a polite like from her sister. 12 messages came in before lunch. Her hands shook as she packed the first 5 orders. This wasn't about the money, though $25 per box suddenly felt significant when she'd earned it herself. It was about the possibility, the tiny crack in the wall she'd built around her own potential. But doubt crept in fast. Was this even a real business? Or was she just a mom selling fruit to other moms who felt sorry for her? The second week, she got 3 orders. The third week, 2. She almost gave up, until one message changed everything. I don't just want the fruit, I want to learn how you're choosing it. My kids actually eat the fruit you send, can you teach me? Suddenly, it wasn't just about selling fruit. It was about knowledge, about the skills she'd quietly developed, knowing which apples actually tasted good, which strawberries wouldn't turn to mush by Tuesday, which farmers grew food that still had flavor. She started adding small cards to each box, tips on storage, notes about seasonality, recipes that her kids actually ate. The orders started climbing again, 6, then 10, then 15. Her kitchen counter transformed. What used to feel like chaos now felt like choreography. She learned to prep boxes during afternoon cartoons. She discovered which suppliers delivered on Tuesdays. She figured out pricing that felt fair, but also kept her going. Maybe success just wasn't meant for someone like her. That thought still came, usually around 3 in the morning, when the doubts grew loudest. But now she had evidence to argue back. Real customers, real income, real proof that she could build something that mattered. According to recent data, small home-based food businesses led by women are growing faster than almost any other segment. The barriers are lower than ever. No storefront needed, no huge investment, just clarity and consistency. Proof that sometimes clarity beats capital. She started noticing patterns. Her customers weren't just buying fruit, they were buying time. The time they'd saved not wandering grocery store aisles. They were buying trust, knowing someone actually cared about quality. They were buying a tiny slice of ease in their overwhelmed weeks. What would you have done in her place? Scaled fast, stayed small? She chose something in between, sustainable growth that didn't sacrifice the reason she started. She began offering themed boxes, lunchbox heroes for school snacks, smoothie starters for the health conscious, weekend baking for families who actually cook together. Each box told a story. Each box solved a specific problem. The income became real. Not quit your husband's job real, but pay for groceries real. Fund the kids' activities real. save for something just hers real. And somehow that felt revolutionary. Then came the doubt, the kind that whispers louder than failure. A big grocery chain started offering delivery. A neighbor started a competing service with fancy branding and social media ads. She watched her order numbers dip and felt that familiar tightness in her chest. Maybe this was just a fluke. Maybe she'd been lucky. Maybe it was time to quit before she embarrassed herself further. She didn't quit. Instead, she did something unexpected. She reached out to the competitor, not to fight, to collaborate. "Your branding is amazing. Want to talk about bulk sourcing together?" The conversation changed everything. They didn't become partners, but they became allies. They realized the market was big enough for both. That competition could be collaboration. That there was no scarcity in solutions, only in imagination. Sometimes growth doesn't look like progress. It looks like staying. Like showing up Tuesday after Tuesday even when the orders are small. Like answering the same questions with patience. Like believing in the value of your work, even when the world tells you it's just fruit. Her workspace was still her kitchen counter, but it no longer felt like chaos. It felt like possibility. She smiled, not because it was easy, but because it was finally hers. The practical side mattered too. She learned that successful home food businesses share common elements. They start with something people actually need, not just want. They solve a real problem. In her case, the problem of finding quality fruit without spending hours shopping. They build on existing skills rather than trying to learn everything from scratch. She also learned the importance of systems. Simple spreadsheets for tracking orders, templates for customer messages, designated prep times that didn't bleed into family dinner. The business worked because it had boundaries, not despite them. What helped her most wasn't just having the right tools, though she did eventually invest in better packaging and a simple website through Shopify. It was realizing that she didn't need permission to start small. She didn't need a business degree or a large investment or a perfect plan. She needed to begin with what she had and learn as she went. She tested a few approaches before finding what truly worked. Some boxes flopped. Some promotions fell flat. Some weeks she wondered if anyone would order at all. But she kept adjusting, kept listening to what customers actually wanted rather than what she assumed they needed. This isn't a promotion, just an honest reflection on what made the path a little lighter. The tools mattered less than the mindset. The investment mattered less than the consistency. Success wasn't a single moment. It was 1,000 small decisions to keep going. She began mentoring other moms who wanted to start similar ventures. Not formally, just coffee conversations where she shared what worked and what didn't. She discovered that teaching others didn't diminish her own business. It amplified it. Word spread about the mom who not only sold great fruit, but also helped others find their own path. The income continued to grow, but so did something else, her sense of self. She wasn't just a mom anymore. She was an entrepreneur, a business owner, a problem solver, a creator. These identities didn't replace motherhood. They expanded around it, making her fuller, not fractured. Her children noticed too. They saw her building something. They saw her problem solving in real time. They learned that work could be creative, that income could come from ingenuity, that their mother was more than the roles they'd assigned her. One afternoon, her daughter asked if she could help pack boxes. Together, they arranged fruit, folded cards, and talked about business in language a 9-year-old could understand. So you help people get good food, and they pay you because it saves them time. Exactly. The business evolved. She added value-added products, homemade fruit leather, dehydrated fruit chips, small batch jams made from surplus inventory. Each addition came from listening, from noticing what customers asked for repeatedly, from trusting that she could learn new skills as needed. She also learned what not to do. She said no to wholesale opportunities that would have destroyed her margins. She declined partnerships that felt misaligned with her values. She stopped comparing her small operation to big companies with venture capital and warehouses. Her size was her advantage, not her limitation. A year in, she looked at her simple spreadsheet. The numbers weren't life-changing, but they were life-affirming. She'd created something that worked, something that served others while serving herself, something that proved the question she'd been avoiding wasn't, "Can I really build something?" but "What took me so long?" When she poured her coffee the next morning, it was still hot, because this time, she wasn't rushing, she was building. The fruit bowl on her counter looked different now. Not just produce, but possibility. Not just food, but fuel for a life she'd designed rather than defaulted into. The oranges still glowed in the morning light, but now they represented something more. Evidence that the ordinary things we walk past every day might hold extraordinary potential. Tell us what part of her story resonated with you most and where you're watching from. Your journey might just inspire the next one. Tell us which country or city you're watching from. See you in the next video. Bye.